Okay, so we are excited. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming on here. Real fast notice for you. And, I know Chris and Rodney and Kirsten and Sarah and us, we are just very excited about, what we've been working on and about the new year and what we have coming for all of you guys. We've been talking about systems for quite a while. I mean, some of you that were at the event, they heard Coulter system. It was a proven system. We've seen ambassadors, some fast turning ambassadors, some people making some fast money, and everybody's like, when are we going to get that system? And I know the company's working on something, for us to pull that together. But, as a team, I know Chris and Rodney and I, we've all talked about doing it, but we just kind of, I can just say this, all of us have created stuff before and, we're just kind of, seeing what happened. But it's after watching what has been happening with the other teams that have had a system, it was like, all right, let's just pull the plug. Let's just do something and come together. And we didn't want to totally recreate the wheel here. So, we got blessed that a few people kind of shared some of Coulter's system with us on what they were doing. And they, gave us, just said kind of make it and put it in your own words and do it in your own way. And, after, I know when I sent Chris the website, I mean, it was like immediately he was excited, and he has been working tirelessly hours to put this together for you guys. I mean, it's like he called me and he was like, he knew I didn't really want to put it together. And, he's like, I'll do this. He said, I'll do this for us. So you guys, you should, be very thankful because he's put a great site together and, something for us to look forward. And it's a lot of the basics, guys. It's like Andre, I kept calling Andre at the company and I was like, when is this system going to come? And he goes, guys, Patty, we're working on it. He goes, but when you see it, it's a lot of the basics you already know. And he goes, you're going to be surprised. And, when Chris and Rodney and Kirsten and I, we talked about this, I mean, a lot of it is basic, but there's a few unique things that the company doesn't have and probably won't do even with their systems. So as we brought it together, we're just offering, what we saw is working with them and some place to become united. One of the things I've talked to Chris quite a bit about is, with Danny Johnson is one of my favorite trainers. And she always said, like whenever somebody had a question, she's like, that's a great question. Go to DannyJohnson.com and find the answer. And so what we've done now is we've pulled it all together. It's going to be a work in progress, constantly adding things for you, but it'll be, we've named it the Legacy Coaching System. I'm excited about that because, I feel like we're creating a legacy for our families, a legacy for helping our teams. And, so it was like really good. I mean, but that's where we're going to guide people to go for their training. So I'm, kind of going to MC. We're going to flip back and forth between Rodney and Chris and I. So I'm going to just let Chris talk for a little bit and I don't know if you want me to start sharing on the website or you want to just talk for a little bit first, Chris.
No, let me just kind of touch on what you talked about, and then we'll let Rodney do the same, and then we'll get to that. But, like Patty said, the company's going to have a system. But, and it's probably bad to say this on a call launching a system, but I think we all know it's not the system. It's the team. It's the team and the synergy and the camaraderie and the things that happen inside of a team. So basically over the last couple of years, we've watched Coulter's team explode. He's, got like 23 ambassadors in his team. He's the first Crown ambassador that wasn't Brad Murray, kind of the first rep in the business, Crown ambassador, which he deserves and he works hard for. But Coulter's kind of the first guy that didn't start in 2008. He started when Zills started, and he's been able to rocket his team up to this great level, his income to this great level. So, it's like we've watched a team with a system and then we've watched everybody else. And there's been other great things that's happened in the company, but they haven't held together and built as strong as what his has done. So, we got excited about that. And we were at the event. We've been waiting for stuff, and we've got pieces of it. We've got like the launch system that Kirby had. And they were all good tools, but there's some other good things that Coulter does, and we'll share with you in a minute what those are. But I just want to say it's not the system, it's having the system. It's the depending on the system and counting on the system and believing in the system. And then all of those things subconsciously coming through to the new consultants and the new prospects that we're talking to of, hey, you got to join our team. We got this system. We have support, because it's a big objective that people have in the beginning is, who's going to help me? I don't know what to do. I've never done this before. And that's what the system's going to do. It's going to have some bells and whistles. It's going to have some cool things, but it's really going to be that team environment that we create. And that's why I want to thank Patty personally, because this was her brainchild. She was talking to another leader that was using Coulter system, and they shared it with her and said, oh yeah, y'all make something like this for yourself. And Patty was showing it to me, and I just volunteered. I said, oh, I can help you build that. And that's what I was going to do. I was just going to help her build her team system, which obviously is part of my team or whatever, but that's what I was going to do. And not too long into the conversation, Patty was like, oh my gosh, Chris, we should do this together. And, it morphed into a day later, a couple days later, her going, hey, Rodney should do this with us, in a conversation that they had together. So I want to thank her for involving us in what she was doing already. So that's all I got to say about that, and I'll let you turn it over to Rodney.
Okay. Well, Rodney, I'm really excited to have you and Kirsten on with us, and we're just going to let you kind of talk how you're feeling about everything. And
yeah, well, I'll ditto what Chris said real quick. Obviously, Patty, thank you so much for gathering all this information, but also being willing for us all to work together. That's amazing. I really appreciate that. And then Chris, obviously, thank you for the time that you put into this. But guys, I'll just real quickly, I'll just say this. Chris is right. Coulter's proven it. This isn't a system that we all came together over the Christmas break and thought we'd throw it out there to you guys. It's proven. It's done. So if somebody follows this system, you will win, period. But it is a team involvement. That's why they're winning, is because the team is they're using it kind of like a franchise approach. They're sticking together. You see the number. I don't know if you can see the number of people that are on this call, but if every one of us show up on a weekly basis to these Zoom calls and we're supporting each other and doing the stuff that we're supposed to do, guys, 2018, you won't be able to recognize your family, your finances, the future that you'll have through this company will blow you away if we just take this system that's already proven and run. That's it. So I'm excited, Patty. I'll let you guys tackle right into it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so, well, I'm just, Chris is going to put it together. We're kind of going to bat back and forth, but just to let you know, we have a website now for the team. It's called legacycoachingsystem.com. So I'm going to go ahead and start sharing, and here, and then we'll just kind of go back and forth. I kind of like this, the on the home page because it says creating the blueprint you want to leave in this world. And, that's what we're all doing here. And so, that's kind of, where we start here. And we're not going to, read. You guys can go to this and we're just going to say this right off. I hope that's okay. We said beta launch. This is kind of a soft, launch of this website. And we kind of, there's 33 of you here, but we're, it'll be all, we're going to try to have all the corrections and everything into it. If you guys see anything grammar, wise or spelling wise, please, reach out to us to let us know. I mean, Chris has done an awesome job, put a lot of work here in the last couple of weeks, but we encourage you to read it too, because, we want it to do, but I'm excited. I mean, he's made it look nice. He, talks about the mission, we're on a mission to help people around the world and enjoy the benefits of our fantastic product, Zeal for Life. And it says, the best way to help more people with our product is together building a global distribution network as simply and quickly as possible. And, one of the things we're going to talk about a lot on here is one-on-one coaching, which we're going to go into that. And we've already talked about a proven system. And, it kind of goes down here, just as Rodney and Chris have said, it's kind of like a franchise. It talks about the facts and some facts on this and why this will work. And just the fact that it is proven. We've already seen it. So the first thing, if you click on here, you'll see the launch packet. And I'm just going to kind of let Chris go through this. And if you want to throw it back and forth to me, Chris, or to Rodney, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Well, first off, let me just say that, again, this kind of leads back to Coulter's system and the what he calls his cramp system, which I hate the name, by the way, but the A in the cramp system is what he calls the all-star factory. And his system to create all-stars all has to do with the launch packet. It's all about a brand new person getting started and having a system in place to get off to the best start possible. We all know when we enroll consultants in the business, they are most excited the day they sign up, and it's pretty much downhill from there for most consultants if we don't get them into action and get them to get business quickly. I heard one trainer say one time, if you don't help your new consultant get a new piece of business in the first 72 hours, you've lost them. And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, people, they go home, wife beats them up, husband beats them up, life starts to happen, and they lose the excitement a little at a time, from that point forward. So getting them off to a great start is our way of helping that new person have success in the business and keep their enthusiasm level up. So what this is it's a 9-step launch system. And, we took part of Coulter's system, part of what Kirby did with his 48-hour launch, and part of what Brian, another ambassador, did in Coulter's team. And we just kind of put those pieces together, and we got a 9-step plan here. So the first one is your why. We truly believe if a person doesn't know why they're building a business, what their purpose is, they're not going to be on purpose. Oh, and by the way, before I keep rattling on, Patty has full permission to interrupt me at any point, and so does Rodney, because I do have a habit of talking. So it is not an attribute for building this business. It's actually a negative that I have to fight daily. But the second is whose responsibility. And what this is a page that just has a description of these points. We actually have a Word document that has all this stuff laid out in detail, a lot like the 48-hour launch that we've all seen. But whose responsibility pretty much just talks about, what's the new consultant's responsibility, what's their sponsor's responsibility, and what their coach's responsibility is, which leads us to our next point, which is our 10:30 coaching calls. This is a 10-minute call that the new consultant will have with a coach for their first 30 days in business and beyond, if they want to continue the coaching. But can you imagine, say you got a new consultant started, can you imagine them getting hooked up with a personal coach? And you'll see who those are in a minute, but they're going to be our leadership. And they're going to have personal coaching calls every day for their first 30 days with that coach, with the exclusion of Sunday. So 10 minutes a day, they'll have a time to speak with us. The fourth step is focusing on customer all-star. What Coulter calls this is kind of really neat. He calls it a G3 all-star, a G5 all-star, and a G10 all-star. So basically, we're going to teach them how to be a G3, which is $240, a G5, which is $400, or a G10, which is $800. We're going to explain to them how that works and then let them choose which one they want to go for. Because, again, this is all about having the realistic expectations. We want the new consultant to know what they're going for and what they're excited about, but we want their sponsor and coach to also know what they're going for and what they're excited about, so we can help them accomplish that. The next section is a lot the same. It's the Team All-Star. And we'll talk to them about the Team All-Star and setting goals for that. The next part is the master list. And this is all, the building the list thing that we're all pretty familiar with. But we're going to approach it in a really fun and exciting way. And what we're going to do is we're going to have them build a master list. And this is everybody that they know. This isn't who they're going to contact day one. This isn't who they're going to throw a post on Facebook. This is just a list of everybody they know. And I will tell you, as someone that's been in this industry for a long time, over a decade, I still have a couple people on my chicken list. This isn't about, holding them accountable, making them talk to people they don't want to talk to. This is just about making a list of people they know. If they have 400 people on their cell phone and they bring you a list back with 17 people on it, then we probably know that they didn't do their master list right. This is just about a list. From that master list, we'll create a weekly working list. That weekly working list will be of 25 people, and they'll have 7 days to work that list. The coaches and the sponsors are going to be working with them to properly work that working list every week. The next step is plugging in. That's just about being connected and plugged in. I've seen over and over in our business over the years, different issues that, are caused by people not plugging in. There's two places that we need to connect and plug in. Number one is going to be corporate. We got to be plugged into corporate events, corporate Facebook pages, reading our emails. We got to know what's going on a corporate level, but we also got to be plugged in on a team level. And what you'll see moving forward is this team that you're on the phone with today moving together in a unified way with some tools and Facebook and things like that, where we'll be working together as a team. Number 8 is rookie mistakes. Have you ever been a couple weeks in the business and then you make a mistake, you do something wrong, you like post about your business on Facebook, and then someone goes, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that," and then you're like, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" This is going to be a place to have those type of things. It's to kind of tell people, hey, don't do that before they go and do it. And, it's just a communication thing. It's something that we've lacked. We've lacked that type of communication because we haven't had a system. We haven't had a team environment like this where we could put this information together to prevent some of the things that are a bad thing to do in your first month in business. This will give us a placeholder for that. And then the last is what we call the launch report. This is going to be a tool that we use to communicate with the sponsor is going to sit down and do this launch packet with their new people. And then when they do this launch packet with their new people, just like the one you've seen that Kirby had on the 48-hour launch, there's going to be questions, there's going to be commitments, there's going to be different things. And we want the coach that's going to be coaching with these people to have access to this. So we've put together what we call a launch packet report. So this is going to be...
Want me to open it?
Yeah, go ahead and open up the launch packet report. We won't look at every single question or anything, but we'll just kind of show them what happens when you click on it and what it does. And then I will take a breath and let y'all talk. Everybody's
opening it up here. Just give it a second here.
Okay. Well, as it opens up, so what I'll just tell you is, again, it's a lot of the things that we've seen in the 48-hour launch, and it's a lot of the type things that Coulter has in his launch packet. And it's just going to be, again, a place for them to put those commitments in writing and get to the coaches. See, I thought it was my computer acting slow. It's yours, huh?
It's mine. I'm going to have to do something. Just give me a second here.
Okay, well, let's just go ahead and turn it over to Rodney.
Yeah, I'll share it in a different way. Go ahead, Rodney.
Okay, so here's, this is what I get excited about, guys, because I don't know if anybody else has done this, but I know I have, is you can get, we all, a lot of times will celebrate by getting somebody started. I mean, the minute they sign up, we celebrate right then. And then that's kind of the end of it. We sometimes it may just be we don't know where to go next, or we don't know how to get them started the right way. This really eliminates all of that. So you have somewhere the minute you get somebody started, you have somewhere to send them, right? That gets them right on track. I mean, it's up to them. I mean, guys, I want you to understand something. In this business, there is not magic foo-foo dust, okay? You don't sprinkle foo-foo dust on people and things happen. So they got to want to do this, but we have something that if they will plug into it, they will win, but they've got to do it. But this gives you something the minute they get started, you can send it to them. And then what I love about this is then you have, with the coaching, not only do they have you now, but they have somebody that more than likely is full-time in this business that can spend 10 minutes every single day with them to make sure that they're on track with what we got them doing right here with this launch packet. Guys, that is so powerful, because if somebody will at least take the coaching and just be coachable, be trainable, anybody that's coachable and trainable within this industry and just the willingness not to give up and will be plugged in, will have success in this company. And that's why I get so fired up about this. This is an amazing tool that we have right at our fingertips.
Now, this is my actual favorite part of the whole website. And the reason why is because it's so self-explanatory. And not just that, every coach on this has the same access to what you are giving your personal coach. So what you're sharing with your coach, we're sharing with the other coach, so everybody's on the same page. There's nobody looking left instead of looking right, or one person staying on track and the other person's like, well, I don't know what you said. We're all working together as one team to make sure that the consultant or your new consultant is on the same track.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you guys see the launch packet now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the launch packet that you can go there. You can click on and print right from the website. And, I just encourage people, and as it says, this launch packet can be done in person, Zoom call, or telephone, because we have a lot of people long distance. So if you look here, it follows right along with the same system that we just went to, your why, whose responsibility, your commitment for 30 days to coaching calls, your customer all-star and team all-star, master and working list, just the exact same things that Chris just went over. But it helps break it down. I went too fast. I went way too fast. Sorry, guys. So it breaks it down. It goes right into, I don't know why it just skipped right over for me. So I apologize for that.
It's because you have an Apple.
It is. Well, I'm doing it in a different format. That's probably, I should have had you do it. But so basically, right off the bat, Chris has put, the 4 quadrants to figure out the why. So that you can figure out, the why and what that would look like. And then, I don't know, Chris, can you open yours?
Yeah, I can open mine. I'll start to share.
Mine. It's not opening. Mine's not working quite right. I don't know why. I think you can share yours.
Yeah, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Let's see. Let me just move all y'all's faces to this other side. There we go. So yeah, basically launch reports here. So first thing we'll do is we'll have them do the why. We use the 4 quadrants to do that. And then they will pick their top 3 out of that list of 20. This will be things they can kind of cut out and hang up places, and we'll do some trainings on some of this. And whose responsibility, will go over that. It has some commitments here. And we're not going to go over every single bit with you guys. This is something y'all can do on your own. It took weeks to build all this, and it would take weeks to explain all of it. But, as you can see, it's pretty simple. It talks about their working list, get some more commitments, talks about how to plug in, which we talked about earlier, and get some commitments on that. Talks about the rookie mistakes, which we talked about earlier. And then this is the printable version of the launch report. And we'll show you the online version in a minute. But basically what this is it's the answer to all the questions that we've answered through here. And for the people that may not have access to a computer, it allows them to do that on here. So let's see, back here. So back to the website on the launch packet here. You can see submit launch report, and I'll let that open up there. So basically this is a constant contact survey. So what they can do is you can go on here and fill this out. This is a requirement. When you sit with your new consultant that you just enrolled and you do the launch packet with them, we're going to ask you as the sponsor to fill this out and submit it. With or without your new consultant, you'll have all this information when you do the launch packet with them. And like you can see in this last question, will you commit to being trained by your sponsor and coach before making Facebook posts or talking with your list about the business or product? There's a right way and a wrong way, and we just want to make sure you do the right way. Do you agree, disagree, or other? So, it's about getting commitments. Do you commit to the Sunday night call? Moving forward, we're going to have a Sunday night call at 9 o'clock, which is going to be our legacy coaching call. So as you can see, it has all of that stuff on here. So we've talked about a lot about the coaches, but a lot of y'all don't know much about the coaching part of it yet. So like I said, new consultants will have the opportunity to select a coach. Right now we're starting with our ambassadors. We don't necessarily feel long term that you have to be an ambassador to be a coach, but we just need a starting point. As we have more and more consultants come on board, we're going to need our national directors, our presidential directors, and maybe at some point our executive consultants to help us with all this coaching. But we just need a starting point. So at this point is where they pick their coaches. The launch packet actually instructs them where to go to pick their coach, and you as a sponsor will help that person pick a coach. There is no cross line anymore, guys. We are a team. So when Patty gets a new person started, it's very likely they're going to pick Rodney or Kirsten or myself as their coach, and vice versa. We're going to work together as a team as we add more presidentials and nationals later. That same process is going to continue. 10 minutes a day, 6 days a week, we're going to talk and encourage that person. We have a script that the coaches are going to use that kind of give us bullet points and things to talk about to help keep your new consultant on track. But here's the thing, guys. We know not everybody that joins a business as a consultant wants to build a full-time business. But what we do know is a very high percentage of them do the first couple of days. It isn't until about the week after they haven't did anything in the business that they kind of get focused on, oh, I'll just be happy with G3 in my first 90 days. If we do this out of the gate and we get this going out of the gate, we're going to see a lot more duplication. We're going to see a lot more people excited about the business. So about the coaching, how's all that work? So you'll notice here if I click on Talk with Patty, and hey, my computer's working quick. It goes to, and I'm not Calendly. It's a calendar app. I don't know how to pronounce it. Patty, you know how to pronounce it?
Calendly.
Calendly. There you go. Good. None of us know how to pronounce it. We just clicked on the link. But nevertheless, it's a scheduling thing. So I'll click on 10-minute coaching session here with Patty. And let's just say I click on Thursday. So on Thursday, it will give me all the time slots that Patty is available for a 10-minute coaching call. I would select one, I'd confirm, and then I would put in my name and my email address and hit schedule. At that point in time, Patty has the schedule, and the person, the new consultant, now has the schedule. We want people to schedule these, more than a day in advance, a week at a time. And once this process starts going, that'll be an easy part to do. So basically, that is how that works. And wada bing, wada boom, we're back here. Yes, Kirsten.
I do want to iterate that when you schedule those 10-minute calls every day with your coach, keep in mind that there are other people that do 10-minute calls with the same coach. So stay on track, stay focused. Listen to what the coach has to say, and let's not talk about how the dog was or, how the children are doing. I mean, it's simple, hey, everything okay, great. Let's get to moving. How was your day? What did you do today? How many people did you interact with? How did this go? Tell me, that kind of stuff. Keep it business minded. You can do the other stuff on Sundays or other areas that the person's, quote unquote, unavailable to do work.
That's true.
Absolutely.
And
go ahead, Patty.
Well, what I really liked about this whole thing is people always text us, and because if you notice, I had 15-minute three-way calls on there. I have different times to be able to do it, and people, we play back and forth. When are you available to do this? Text-wise, back and forth. Well, now they can go with talkwithpatty.com and they can look and see, okay, when does she have time to do three-ways? When does she have time to do this? And if you're doing a three-way, you can put, it has where you put, your name and your email, and then the person that we're talking to and what they do and what they're excited about. So that it helps us when we do this. And I think, it's just going to keep the communication open. And, I know all the time people, just say how busy they are and they're afraid to call. Well, all of us have opened up our calendars to be able to help, to help the whole team. And I'm so excited about that part of it.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Well, absolutely. And like they both said, these are going to be coaching calls with your new consultant. So, we're going to have a timer on our desk and we're going to have 10 minutes because likely we're going to have less than 5 minutes to get ready for the next 10-minute coaching call, which is pulling up their information and trying to, remember who they are and all that stuff, especially in the beginning. So it is going to be 10 minutes and it's going to be focused. And it's going to be all about, their first 30 days and their goals. If they said they want a customer all-star, we're going to say, great. We're going to work with them daily on that. We're going to work with them daily on their 25 and 7 list, because those 25/7 lists is how they're going to get their customers to Customer All-Star or Team All-Star. So it's going to be very focused, and it's going to be coaching. And I just want to say one thing to everybody involved. I'm not a person that uses the word regret very often. I don't live in the past. I live in the future and the present, because the present changes the future, and, yada, yada, yada. And after kind of looking at all this stuff, putting this stuff together, working hard on this website, and this launch packet, if I had to have a regret about building this business so far, and first off, we're very blessed that we got as far as we have without this, and that we've had the success that we've had without this. But man, this coaching part alone, if we would have had this from day one, I can imagine the hundreds or even the thousands of people that have joined our business over the last decade, or decade almost. A month short of it, 2 months short of a decade. All the people that have joined our business, that if we would have had these resources in place, I think we'd be in a much different spot than we are today. So again, not to be regretful about it, but to be optimistic about, man, if we could do this good without it, imagine what we can do in the next phase, the next season of our business. Because there was a lot of good people that's joined our business over the years, a lot of good people that would have done much better. I can personally testify to the fact that I have enrolled people in the business and not talked to them for 3-4 days after I've enrolled them, because we didn't have a system. We didn't have a thing in place to prevent that from happening. And there was uncomfortabilities because it wasn't normal. The system makes it normal. It makes it expected. The expectations are set up correctly from day one with the launch packet. So it's going to make this whole process so much better. And guys, if you've lost your hope, if you've lost your jazz to work the business, I promise you, if you'll get it back and you'll commit to the system, things will look different 12 months from now by far.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we've got the next thing is the cramp system. Rodney or Chris, you want to share that? You've got the screen.
Yeah, why not? Well, again, back to the cramp system, and I'll just tell you the acronym real quick. Customer system, recruiting system, launching system, business building system, online and local meeting system. So he calls it the customer acquisition system, or the customer acquisition, recruiting consistency, all-star factory, moving up in rank, and the plugging in. So I'll just real quickly, first and foremost, if there's a line under it, it is a hyperlink. So on customer acquisition, and I'm going to put something here that tells people that, because it's kind of hard to tell, and I cannot change the color in this website building format. So anyway, customer acquisition, we have customer acquisition systems already in place, like our Zil samples and how to use samples. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to see moving forward is more and more content here. And it won't just be from the ambassadors. We have sharp people on our team. You'll notice, and I'll skip ahead here, 3-way calls. I'll click on it, how to do a 3-way call, and you'll see Miss Charlotte Six doing the best training I've ever heard on how to do a 3-way call. We want more content like this, mm-hmm. and it'll be done by many leaders in our team. But so under customer acquisition, Patty put together what she calls the EMAP system. And basically what the EMAP system is a system to pre-qualify and to post-qualify your people sampling your Zil. And sometimes it's just asking the right questions. Did you feel more energy? Did your mind feel less foggy? Hey, how was your appetite? Hey, did you notice any pain and discomfort changes? Hey, how about some stress and fatigue? Any of that change? Sometimes about asking those questions, and sometimes to ask those questions we need a system, especially for brand new people. See, we can know some of this stuff, guys, but our brand new people, see, that's where we're missing it. I think as leaders, all of us, the people on this call, I'm just going to call you a leader, we know some of this stuff, but we're doing a real bad job of getting this stuff to our new people when they get started. And that's what this system is all about. But it's about moving forward and continuing to build your business as well. So under recruiting systems or recruiting consistency, we're going to do some trainings on the master list and the working list. This is really the backbone of the launch packet. If the new person doesn't do this, they're not going to do any of the rest of it. So we're going to work really hard on getting some trainings and some video trainings and some different things available here. And of course, I found a real funny video about doing home parties, but we'll do some more. All-Star Factory is all about the launching system and the coaching calls. That's how we produce All-Stars. We're going to produce All-Stars by falling in love with the launch packet, by teaching it to every new consultant that gets started, and then getting every new consultant that gets started plugged into the coaching calls. Moving up in rank. This is all about, sometimes it's hard for people to comprehend, what's it take to be, a senior? What's it take to be a premier or a regional or an executive? What's it look like? What am I going to earn? How many people does it take? And this is something that I've already put together. I just got to let Patty and Rodney look at it and get their approval, and Kirsten, and get their approval on it. But it's just a way to make a picture, to make a visual picture and a visual understanding of what it looks like to move up in rank. And you'll be really excited when you see it. If people follow the system, it doesn't take that much, to get to that point. And there's multiple ways to get there. You can do it all with builders packs. And if you do it all with builders packs, you're an executive consultant with like 60 consultants on your team. If you do it all with builders packs, you're going to make, lots of team bonuses and so forth. And then there's ways to do it without the builders packs. And what we'll do is we'll show a way what it looks like. Not that your business will look exactly like either example, but it's an example for you to look at and kind of see what it looks like. And then that way you're able to understand it a little better. And our new people are able to understand it a little better. And then, of course, plugging in. I'm not going to waste my breath here. Y'all know the importance of plugging in. You know how to plug in. Sometimes we don't do the best job of it, but we got to do a better job in the future. Even sometimes with teams, and, this isn't to point out anybody specifically, but sometimes we break away too quickly. It's like, I'm not going to participate with that ambassador stuff anymore. I'm going to go start my own Facebook group, and we're going to have our own team because we got all kinds of excitement going on right now. And you may have 40, 50 people in it in 2 months. But the problem is every business is going to go through ups and downs. They're going to go through fast periods of momentum and slow periods. Sometimes when you break away too quickly, those slow periods will kill your business if no one's connected to the main vine. If they're not connected to the main source, they don't see the other people still doing well in their business. They don't see people going through the ups and downs. They only see their individual team and the circle that you've only exposed them to going through a down. And then depression happens, and then, everybody's having problems, and then, can kind of create some additional problems. But anyway, nevertheless, that's why it's important to plug in. And not only to our team, but to also plug into corporate. Corporate is a great resource. I've seen certain teams, not only in our own team, but in other teams that have, tremendous growth, but they hardly have anybody at the corporate events. That says something. That means we weren't plugging them into corporate, or they would be coming to the corporate event. So sometimes these things are really important, and we don't think about them as they're going on. You only kind of see the result of it after it's already happened. So anything else there, guys?
No, I think that's great.
Awesome.
I think it's good.
Okay, well, we'll also have a newsletter, and that'll be kind of just like a team thing where we can get information out. We encourage everybody to sign up. Another way to plug in, I actually need to add that down here, sign up for newsletter. That's a good way to plug in. We'll also have a Facebook group, and right now it's empty. It just has us ambassadors in it. Is going to be Legacy Coaching System. It is a group. What we want to use this for is people plugging in the system. If you've looked at all this and said, not for me, I'm going to go do things my own way, then you probably don't want to be in this group, because this group's going to be talking about this system only. Our ambassadors are still going to have their Facebook pages. Me personally, I don't really use mine. I know Patty uses hers quite a bit. Rodney and them use theirs for now as well. You'll still have that part of your team, but this is about the legacy team and this global team and this system specifically. Patty, do you have anything to say about that?
No, I mean, I agree. It's the people, if somebody doesn't want to do that, that's just fine. But this is, the people that raise their hand, want to be in the system and want to plug into that part of it. It's a good place for us to all be on the same page.
One other thing I'll show you on the downloads tab here under resources is where you're going to get the legacy coaching packet other than the other place to get it. Also get a memory jogger. When it comes to making the master list, a memory jogger is very, very helpful, and this is a good one. We got some other stuff here like our calendar. We got the EMAPs, you know, the sampling EMAP system here. So we're going to have more stuff here and more stuff other places at times. And then one other thing I wanted to show you, what's here now is the calendar. So this is tied to a Google Calendar, but it's going to be a calendar where our team can see what's going on. We can add new things to this. The ambassadors will all have access to the Google account this is tied to. So if we want to add Super Saturdays in or local meetings in, we'll add those to this calendar. We'll ask that any local meetings or home party type meetings to be added to the calendar. They'd need to be open to the public, of course. We don't want to say, hey, we're having a meeting in Oklahoma City, and then, oh, by the way, most of the people seeing this, you're not invited. You know, we want it to be for public meetings only, but we'll add those in here as well, so there'll be a good resource where people can see them. And other than that, guys, what we want you to do, and this was kind of just my closing thing, and I'll turn it back to you guys to kick it around, but what we're doing is we're kind of soft launching this or beta launching it. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to have this done by the 1st of the year. And by the way, I've worked a little hard getting all this stuff done. It may not look like a lot to you, but it's been a lot for me to get it done. And through Christmas and everything else, I'm amazed at how much I was able to accomplish. Pat myself on the back. But we want it done by the 1st. But what we're doing it before the 1st is we want you other leaders, and if you're on this call, you're a leader. We want you to look over it. Hey, what do we miss? What could be added? What's not here that needs to be here? And some of that stuff is going to come later. It's going to take some time. But even grammar issues, spelling issues, it's going to be full of them because I did it. You know, you have to remember I was homeschooled, so it's going to have some issues. And if you guys as leaders will help us with some of that, it'd be fantastic and helpful, and we would invite the criticism, and it's not criticism, it's help. Hey, you spelled this wrong, dummy, and then I'll change it. So just help us out with stuff like that, and we appreciate it. And that way, by the 1st, this is rip-roaring, ready to go, and has everything done that needs to be done, okay? So.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, Chris is, I'm thankful, you know, our goal was to have it done by the 1st, and, you know, he pulled it off for us guys. And I just, you know, as he said, it's the team, it's something for our team to be proud of. And when you're talking to that prospect now, to be able to say, we have a system, you know, our team has a system, and you can just feel confident in it. And to even say, you know, hey guys, you know, our ambassadors, you know, they take time for you guys to be able to talk to you and help coach you. You know, that's a big thing to be able to offer our brand new people, to give them, you know, some time with us to learn from some people who've done it. So we're just really, 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 really excited for all of you and for everything that's coming ahead here. So anyway, I see Pete raised his hand. I'm going to unlock. If you guys have background noise, mute yourself out. I'm going to mute. And whoever's got a question can ask a question right now if you'd like.
Now I know what matters. You were homeschooled.
Is it Pete? You have a question?
Yeah, I was just letting Chris know that now I know that he was homeschooled, and that's the problem.
I'm sure Chris takes that with
But thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all your work. And we'll get plugged in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job, Chris.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job, all of you. Thank you so much.
Good job, Chris.
Yeah, awesome. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
No, just terrific presentation.
Love it.